A dead scout pod drifted at the edge of Sol. Its beacon was dark. Its cockpit was empty. Its hull was burned like it had been kissed by lightning. Commander RYTHAN watched it spin on the main screen of the war. Cruiser ASHEN CLAW, then the pods. Broken speaker crackled. A human child laughed. The laugh faded into a whisper. "Run," the voice said. "Please, run." RYTHAN was Dragonkin scaled, winged, built for war. He should not have felt cold, but that whisper scraped at him anyway. Captain. Serix stood beside him, older and scarred. "No life signs," she said. "No heat, no engines." Science adept Molly leaned toward the sensors. "The core is still inside," Molly said. "Barely tow it in," RYTHAN ordered. Serix frowned. "Commander, it could be a trap." "Then we will see the trap," RYTHAN said. The tractor beam pulled the pod into the docking bay as it locked into place. The speaker played one more word. Too late. Marines cut the pod open. Steam rolled out. The air smelled like burned plastic and old fear. Molly pried out the fused data core. Sparks jumped. The speaker crackled again, and a calm human voice filled the bay. "This is Captain Nora Hale of the Earth Defense Fleet," the voice said. "If you recovered this pod, you recovered the bait." RYTHAN's officers froze. "We rescued your scout," Nora Hale continued. "It saw what we are hiding. Turn back now. Leave Sol." A beat of silence. "And if you do not," she added, "you will learn why our elders give the same warning." The message ended. Silence followed, heavy and sharp. RYTHAN's pride flared hot. "Plot course for Earth," he snapped. "Full burn." Emily hesitated. "Commander," she offered, "a way out." Serix said nothing, but her tail lashed once. RYTHAN bared his teeth. "We do not run from humans." The Ashen Claw turned toward the inner worlds. 2 days earlier, the elders had warned him. In the great nest on Beldrax Prime, Elder Vorax had spoken with a voice like stone. "Do not test Earth," Vorax said. "Do not chase humans for glory." RYTHAN had bowed, polite and sure. "They are small," he had said. "They will fold." Vorax had leaned forward. "They fold paper," he had answered. "Then they turn it into blades." RYTHAN had left, the hole laughing inside his throat. Now he stopped laughing. Earth came into view. Blue, white, peaceful. Peaceful. No fleet ringed the planet. No proud wall of guns. "Where is their navy?" RYTHAN demanded. Molly's claws shook over the console. "Hidden behind the moon," Molly said. "Silent running." "Cowards," RYTHAN growled. He opened a channel. "Humans of Earth," he said. "Submit and pay tribute, or we burn your orbit clean." Earth answered in one flat sentence. "Copy," Nora Hale said. "You chose wrong." The moon's shadow moved. A cloud unfolded into thousands of cold, dark shapes. Drones, not ships, not fighters. A swarm. They spread into a wide net around the Ashen Claw. RYTHAN raised a claw fire. Plasm lanced out. Drones burst. The swarm flexed, closed, and came again. No panic, no retreat. Then the first drone touched the hull. A soft clink. Then another. And another. Hundreds latched on. Tiny magnetic clamps biting into armor seams. Bridge lights flickered. Weapons died. Navigation went black. Molly shouted. "They are inside our systems." A line of human text appeared on the only screen still alive. "Hello, Ashen Claw. Your systems are now in safe mode." RYTHAN slammed his claw into the console. "Safe mode." Serix's voice went low. "They shut us down without cracking us open." Another line appeared. "We can end this without blood." "Turn around," RYTHAN hissed. "Never." He forced a manual reboot. He cut power feeds. He tried old hardware switches. Nothing worked. It was like the ship itself had decided to disobey him. Then the speakers chimed, calm and clean. "Commander RYTHAN," Captain Nora Hale said, as if she stood behind him. "This is your last chance to leave without a war." RYTHAN stared at the ceiling. "You trapped my cruiser. I secured it," Nora Hale replied. "You came to set a fire. I removed your spark." Serix stepped forward. "If you can shut us down," she said, "you can kill us." "Yes," Nora Hale said. And I did not. A hatch slid open near the bridge doors. 2 black drones drifted through, quiet as dust. Then Nora Hale walked in. She was small next to Dragonkin, but she did not look small. Her hands were empty. Her eyes were steady. Dragonkin reins raised. Rifles. Red lights blinked. The rifles stayed dead. Nora Hale did not flinch. "I am here to talk," she said. Do not make me prove I can also end this. RYTHAN stepped closer. Wings tight. You use machines as a shield. Nora Hale nodded. Humans use tools, she said. Because we must, Molly whispered. Why warn us? Why not destroy us? Nora Hale's face hardened. Because something else is destroying ships, she said, and you flew straight into the trap. She tapped her wrist device. A map glowed above the floor. Red marks dotted the lanes around Sol. Missing vessels, she said. Human Dragonkin traders, all gone. No wrecks, no calls. Only whispers. Serex's scales prickled. Pirates. Not pirates, Nora Hale said. This thing does not want cargo, it wants confusion. The speakers hissed. A Dragonkin voice filled the bridge. Perfect in tone. El Dvorak's, humans will betray you, the voice said. Then the voice changed again, becoming RYTHAN's own. Burn Earth, it said. MOL. I went pale. Serex froze. RYTHAN felt his spine lock. Nora Hale lifted her palms. That is the enemy, she said. We call it a Void Eater. It copies voices, she continued. It pushes fear into the gaps. It turns allies into enemies. RYTHAN's Marines shifted behind him. One young officer stepped forward, voice shaken. Commander, give the order. We can take her. RYTHAN did not look back. Your RYTHAN are dead, he said. And if they were not, you would still wait. The young officer hesitated. Why? Because she walked onto our bridge with empty hands, RYTHAN said. That is not weakness. That is a message. Nora Hale watched them, still as a statue. I did not come alone, she said. If you touch me, my drones venture weapons bay. Not to kill you, to stop you. Serex narrowed her eyes. Stop us how? Nora Hale tapped her device again. A small panel on the wall lit up, showing ship systems in neat rows. Safe mode, she said. I locked your drive output, your weapons relays, and your targeting. Your life support stays yours. Your medical base stays yours. Your escape pods stay yours. Molly blinked. You planned for mercy. Asterisk, I planned for control. Nora Hale corrected. Mert says what I choose after. RYTHAN leaned closer, voice low. If I agree to leave, you release my ship. I release enough to prove good faith, Nora Hale said. Not enough to let you strike Earth while I turn my back. RYTHAN felt the old urge to roar, to demand, to dominate. He forced it down. What do humans call this? He asked. Nora Hale answered without pride. A seatbelt, she said. You can hate it. It still saves you in a crash. Serex let out a slow breath. And the bait pod? She asked. Nora Hale's eyes flicked toward the docking bay cameras. We wanted you to hear the whisper. We wanted you to chase it. Because you were already on the edge of Sol, and the enemy was already near you. RYTHAN's jaw tightened. You used us. I used your speed, Nora Hale said. And I am using it again, if you choose to help. The bridge went quiet. RYTHAN turned slightly, letting his crew see his face down. Down, he ordered. A few Marines bristled, but they obeyed. Seryx's posture eased. Molly swallowed and returned to the sensors. RYTHAN faced Nora Hale again. Take us to your proof, he said. If you lie, you will not get a second warning. RYTHAN clenched his claws. Show me. Nora Hale nodded. Good, she said. Come with me. Quietly. A shuttle took them down to a hidden base under the lunar ice. The tunnels were narrow, cold, and clean. Frost filmed the walls. Lights hummed with careful power. At the final door, 2 human guards waited. Their eyes were tired, not brave. The door opened. A wide chamber stretched out, metal ribs and ice dust. In the center, an energy ring shimmered like a thin glass wall. Inside it, a knot of darkness floated. No body, no face, just moving shadow. Pulsing like a slow heart, RYTHAN felt pressure behind his eyes. A voice drifted from a speaker. Soft as bait, RYTHAN, it said, using his own mother's tone. Come closer. Serex grabbed his arm. Do not listen, she warned. Nora Hale spoke without looking away. It searches for what you love, she said. Then it uses it. Molly raised a scanner. The field is losing energy, Molly said. Tiny drains. A human engineer answered. We patch leaks every day. It keeps learning. The darkness pulsed. The lights dipped. A human guard near the wall stiffened and lifted his rifle toward Nora Hale. RYTHAN moved fast. He slapped the barrel aside. The guard blinked, shaking. I heard my child, the guard whispered. Nora Hale placed a hand on his shoulder. Breathe, she said. Count. Focus on my voice. The guard obeyed. The darkness shivered in anger. Alarms blared. Containment. Dropping. The engineer shouted. The energy ring flickered. For one breath, it thinned. A ribbon of shadow reached out. Fast as a lash, Serix exhaled a short burst of flame. The ribbon snapped back, sizzling against the heat. It hates fire, Nora Hale said. Then her eyes widened. But it learns, she added. The shadow struck again, pushing at the anchors. A pylon base cracked. RYTHAN saw the crack widen. If the pylon fell, the ring would fail. He ran and slammed his armored tail into the base, forcing it back into line. The ring snapped tighter. Now, Nora Hale ordered. Drones fired bright threads, pinning the shadow inward. Human techs pushed emergency power into the field. Serix used controlled fire, not rage, to herd the darkness back. The Void Eater screamed through speakers, changing voices each second. A child, a lover, a dying friend. RYTHAN stared into it and kept one thought steady. It is lying. The ring brightened. The shadow recoiled and folded back into the center, contained again. For a moment, the chamber was quiet except for breath and distant ice creaks. Then a new alarm sounded, sharp and urgent. An operator rushed in. "Captain," he gasped to Nora Hale. "The orbital swarm is moving." Nora Hale's face drained. "Our drones. They are hijacked," the operator said. "They are turning toward Earth." RYTHAN's blood ran cold. If the swarm hit the atmosphere, it would become a storm of metal. Earth would burn without a single missile. RYTHAN spoke fast. "The swarm is still clamped to my ship," he said. "Use my cruiser like a hook. Drag the swarm away." Serix stared at him. "You would risk your ship for their world." RYTHAN's voice was hard. "I risk my ship for the galaxy," he said. "If Earth falls, the darkness wins." They ran back to the surface. Their shuttle launched into orbit. The ASHEN CLAW hung above Earth, wrapped in drones, but now the swarm moved in a spear shape, pulling, steering, hungry. Nora Hale tapped her device. "I can unlock your engines," she said. "Only engines." "Do it," RYTHAN said. The cruiser's thrusters flared. Molai's voice came through, tight with fear. "Commander, I have raw burn control. No stabilizers. Point away." "From Earth," RYTHAN ordered. "Hold as long as you can." The ASHEN CLAW lurched forward. Hull plates groaned. Warning lights flashed. The swarm clung on and came with it, dragged like a net of knives. Earth began to shrink behind them. Some drones peeled away, trying to dive back. Then they snapped around again, yanked by the hijack signal. "It is steering them like limbs," Serix said. Nora Hale nodded. "The enemy is not just in the ice," she said. "There is another node in the swarm." They pushed farther out, past the moon, into colder dark. Molai's voice shook. "Engines overheating," Molai warned. "We cannot keep this burn, Nora." Hale checked range markers. "We only need distance," she said. "Far enough that falling drones do not find Earth." RYTHAN watched the blue planet shrink to a small light. For the first time, he understood the warning. Humans were not soft. They were careful. "Now?" Nora Hale asked. "Not yet," RYTHAN said. Seconds stretched. The ship shuddered. The swarm tugged like a living storm. Then the range markers turned safe. "Now," RYTHAN said. Nora Hale triggered a detachment pulse. The drones shuddered. Clamps released. Thousands of bodies peeled away and scattered into the void. But at the center, a darker knot held together, trying to gather the swarm back. "There," Serix said. RYTHAN opened a channel. "Molai weapons." Molai answered. "Weapons are still locked." RYTHAN looked at Nora Hale. She hesitated, then tapped her device. "One shot," she said. "Only one." The main plasma battery hummed awake. The dark knot tried to broadcast odd voices. "Flooded comes." Vorax RYTHAN, a human child crying. RYTHAN spoke over the noise. "Do not answer," he said. "Do not listen. Do not give it a door." Serix aligned the cruiser by hand. "Steady as stone," Mark Serix said. Plasma lanced out, clean and bright. The knot flashed, twisted and burned away. The voices cut, off like a blade through wire. The scattered drones drifted, powerless, fading into darkness. Earth stayed untouched. The ASHEN CLAW coasted. Engines cooling. Nora Hale let out a slow breath. "You chose right," she said. RYTHAN looked at her. "You forced me to," he replied. Serix's tail eased. "Both can be true," she said. They returned to lunar orbit. But the Void Eater stayed caged under ice, angry but contained. Above The stars looked calm again, but no one believed the calm. Back on the bridge, RYTHAN opened a secure channel to Veldrax Prime. Eldevorax appeared, eyes sharp. RYTHAN bowed his head. "Your warning was not fear," he said. "It was wisdom." Vorax watched him for a long moment. "And Vorax asked. Alive, RYTHAN answered. "Because humans fought without pride." Nora Hale stepped into the HoloView.com and tired. "This enemy spreads through mistrust," she said. "We need shared alerts, shared plans, shared silence when it whispers." Vorax's gaze stayed on her, then shifted to RYTHAN. "You will stand beside humans?" he asked. RYTHAN answered clearly. "Yes," he said, "because the dark between signals does not care who wins a war." Vorax dipped his head once. "Then the Ness will listen," he said. This time, the call ended. On the quiet bridge, Nora Hale placed a small device on RYTHAN's console. "A joint key," she said. "If any voice tries to wear your face, we will know." RYTHAN touched it with one careful claw tip. Outside the viewport, Earth turned blue and stubborn. RY then spoke to the crew, voice steady. "We leave Sol," he said, "not as raiders, as guards." A soft chime sounded. Molly looked up from sensors. "Commander," Molly said. "A faint signal just appeared." Sarek stiffened. "From where?" Molly swallowed. "Deep space. Far beyond the lanes." The speakers crackled. A new voice filled the bridge. Not human, not Dragonkin, gentle, almost friendly. "Friends," the voice said. "Did you like my first lesson?" RYTHAN did not answer. Nora Hale did not answer. Sarex cut the audio feed. Molly sealed filters. Drones mirrored the locks. RYTHAN stared at the dark ahead. "Set course to the signal," he said. Sarex placed her claws on the helm. "Together?" she asked. OY then nodded once. "Together," he said. The Ashen Claw turned into the night, and the galaxy held its breath.